By combining the speed, intelligence, control, visibility, and domination you need to compete, the Killer 2100 Gaming Network card provides the perfect blend of gaming passion and technical know-how to guarantee your gaming experience is flawless in both its speed and its performance. Find out more information at www.bigfootnetworks.com.
Hi, this is EG.IdrA Fields of Team Evil Geniuses, and this is a Fragmore University Pro Replay review brought to you by Bigfoot Networks. Today we're going to be examining a game of me versus ROOT.CatZ from the recent MLG Dallas National Finals tournament. And this will be a ZVZ on the map Steps of War. Here we have me, EG.IdrA, as the red Zerg on top right, and my opponent, ROOT.CatZ, as the blue Zerg on bottom left. And in this replay, we are going to see CatZ do a very aggressive quick baneling build, and we will see how I defend it. This kind of build is very effective on this map because, as you can see, it has a very short rush distance. This means that his initial Zerglings get to your base very, very quickly. They disrupt your mining, and they disrupt your build order. And this makes the baneling follow-up very powerful because as your mining was disrupted and as you are not teching, you're focusing on defending the rush, you don't have the units necessary to defend his banelings. This means that it's very important to recognize early on what build he's doing. And the first thing you'll see is that he will not build a second Overlord. Your initial Overlords will meet out here in the middle of the map, but then as your first Overlord is down in this area, you should see a second Overlord. But in this case you won't, because as you see, he built his pool before the second Overlord. And so this is your first clue that he's doing a very aggressive pool first build. The second thing you need to look for is that you will see his Zerglings come out here, and you need to check if he has drones with those or not. Because if he's doing a normal aggressive pool opening, he will bring drones to build spine crawlers here and here to support the push. But if he's going fast baneling, he needs to mine gas as well as minerals, and this means he needs to keep all of his drones at home. So if you see him not bring drones, you can assume that he's doing this quick baneling bust that we will see in this game, and we'll see how I defend it. Now, I open with a 13 pool, 14 gas build. This is a pretty defensive build. 13 pool is relatively quick, and that's because this is a good map for aggression. And so it's good to play a very safe opening, as a lot of people will favor the strategy CatZ uses here, the quick baneling aggression. Now, here, you can see that I don't see a second Overlord, and I see his Zerglings coming out here. So I know it is an aggressive build, and again, I see no drones here. I only see the 6 Zerglings. This tells me that it's probably going to be a baneling push. As such, I will throw down a spine crawler right here very quickly, because as you won't have the tech units or the economy to really outmatch his banelings, you need to depend on this spine crawler to defend it. So you absolutely have to build that spine crawler against this strategy. Another thing that's important here is do not be afraid to use your drones to hold off the Zergling push. He is going to have more Zerglings than you here, but it's just fine to fight with drones. They are cost efficient when they only have a few Zerglings like this. So you should feel free to do that. You also need to get your queen immediately, and you're spending all of your larvae on Zerglings. Zerglings aren't great versus banelings, but you don't have time to go roach or your own banelings in this scenario, so you have to just depend on Zerglings and use them as well as possible. This retreat with the Zerglings is another indicator that he's doing fast baneling, because he needs to pull back in order to actually morph the banelings. So when you see him do that, you can again assume that it's banelings. And you need to follow him. This is very important. You need to follow him with your own Zerglings because he's going to be vulnerable while he's morphing like this. So you want to put pressure on him to buy time and possibly to kill a baneling. That's very important because right now time is of the essence. Everything is about buying time for your superior drone count to kick in. Because as you can see, this is a very aggressive build. He only has 9 drones. Okay. Here you need to engage with the Zerglings. It is okay if your Zerglings die. Everything right now is focused on saving as many drones as possible. And in the same light, here you spread out all your drones as well as possible to minimize the splash damage you get from the baneling. It's okay if you lose some drones. Again, this is an all-in build on his part. You just need to minimize damage. So it's okay to lose drones as long as you don't lose too many. And after that big battle, after I hold that off, before we continue, I just want to pause and remind you guys that this replay review is brought to you by Bigfoot Networks, makers of the Killer 2100. The Killer 2100 is a top-of-the-line gaming network card that increases performance across all games. I use it myself and I love it, and I'd highly recommend you guys check it out at www.bigfootnetworks.com. Now, let's go back into the game. Now, you can see I've held off his push. He realizes that his aggression has failed and that he needs to pull back and rebuild his economy. He does this by putting up a spine crawler to help him with the defense, morphing more banelings so that I can't overwhelm him with zerglings, and he will want to get up a queen as quickly as possible. For my part, I know that he can't be aggressive anymore. I know I've squelched his aggression, so I take this opportunity to build up my own drone count to get zergling speed, and I will throw down a baneling nest soon in order to put pressure on him myself. And there goes my baneling nest. My zergling speed has finished. This gives me the opportunity to be aggressive because I can outrun his banelings, I can't be trapped by his speedlings. I have the mobility to be annoying and get away safely. That's very important at this point because you use it to gain scouting information. I see he doesn't have a queen, I see he has very few drones, and I see that he built a spine crawl. This means he's in a defensive posture, and I can feel free to continue droning, continue teching. I know I'm not in any danger at this point. Here he puts down a roach warren. He knows that with my superior economy, I will be able to beat him if we both go zergling baneling, so he feels his best opportunity is to go roach with a couple of banelings and hope that he can catch me off guard. I haven't scouted this. That was a mistake by me. You need to be sure you get full vision of his base so you can see anything like that because it's very important to be able to respond correctly. As such, I haven't. However, I am building up my baneling army. I also have more zerglings coming out here. I repositioned my spine crawler to help in case he tries to run around and get aggressive himself. And as soon as my baneling's done, I'm going to go in here and try and get aggressive myself, take advantage of any kind of timing that I have here. Since he has been building up drones and teching, his army is very weak right now. He only has 3 banelings and 3 zerglings and a queen. As such, this gives me a really good opportunity to do some damage here. I spread out my banelings so that I can come in from both sides. This makes it almost impossible for him to run away his drones and save them. That's very important. You'll see a lot of people come in with banelings only from one side. The drones run off that way and no damage is done. You can see that he has lost a lot of drones. He's down to 5 and he has roaches out. This means that his next attack is going to be all in. He is so far behind in economy that there's absolutely nothing you can do. I know this, and so I go roach because that is the all-purpose defensive unit early game. There is nothing that hard counters roaches, so as long as you have roaches, you're not going to die to an attack. So knowing that he has to attack, I go roach myself to prepare to defend the last attack. And right now, he's just going to build up that army. He's getting some banelings. Right now, he is hoping that I continue going zergling baneling and that he can nullify my zerglings with these banelings and kill me with the roaches. But since I'm going roach, he won't be able to do that. And at this point, we're just waiting for him to build up to that attack and go. You see I'm going lair here as well. This is unnecessary, but good. It's the nail in the coffin, essentially. Once I have roach speed, I'll be able to be aggressive and defend at the same time. So if I'm mistaken and he's actually building up drones and playing for a long game, going for a lair here allows me to get roach speed and push the game. But that was unnecessary as he is in fact being aggressive. He is moving out for the attack. I see this, so I start up roach production. I'm hiding my roaches back here so he can't see it. He doesn't know that I'm going to be prepared. And that's very important in closer games. Here there's not much he could do, but it's always important to hide information like that from your opponent. And here comes his attack. As you can see, I have plenty of roaches. I target the banelings because if I can eliminate the banelings, I can trap him with my speedlings and prevent him from running away. But he does run away. He realizes that he won't be able to win that battle, and so he hopes to go home and defend, building up a few more drones, more units. But at this point, really, my economy is so overwhelming and my unit count is so overwhelming that there's not too much he can do. It's just a matter of finishing him off at this point. The one important thing here is that I always keep my zerglings back. I always aware of the banelings because if even one of those hits, all of the zerglings die. So I'm careful to target the banelings for my roaches. Once they're all eliminated, I come in with the zerglings and I'm free to finish them off. And here the game is pretty much over and I'm just moving into the kill. And there's the GG. This has been a Fragmore University Pro Replay review brought to you by Bigfoot Networks. For more information on Bigfoot Networks Killer 2100, visit bigfootnetworks.com. For more great StarCraft 2 content, visit BigfootNetworks.com/fragmore and the Evil Geniuses team website at www.myeg.net.
By combining the speed, intelligence, control, visibility, and domination you need to compete, the Killer 2100 Gaming Network card provides the perfect blend of gaming passion and technical know-how to guarantee your gaming experience is flawless in both its speed and its performance. Find out more information at www.bigfootnetworks.com.